Oh, hello friends! You know, recently I found some Scottish YouTuber, Fandabidoz, and he just showed how cool it is to have a stick. A stick, it is like a multi-purpose tool for everything. But you know, he's in Scotland and I'm in Eastern Europe. So, I had to make my own stick. Let's go, and I will show you how I made this stick. Let's go! So friends, first of all, to make a stick you need to get some wood. And what better place to get wood than your mom's forest? Therefore, I chose this really long and really thick hazel branch. It will make perfect sticks. One for me and maybe one for Olga. So now the next step would be to harvest it. Harvesting of such a little stick is easy. Just take your pocket saw and cut it down. Of course, you want to trim it right after cutting down, for the weight reduction. For the same reason, you also want to cut off any branches. Next step would be to trim it to your desired length. For example, I would like to have it up to my chin, so I could use it for self-defense, as a walking stick, or even just a pole to lean on. Well now friends, that's what I call the proper length stick. You can do almost anything with it. You can lean on it, you can use it as a walking stick, or even as a self-defense tool. Now friends, if you plan to use a hazel stick as a piece of wood to make bow, you should have in mind that the center wood of a hazel stick is very soft, so you need to make your bow only out of outer wood. Anyway, I was making stick, not a bow, so I started debarking it for even better weight reduction. And in about 10 minutes the stick was without a bark, so then I just roughly rounded the ends of the stick to prevent splitting. Well, that's a smooth end. Now when I have such a stick, I feel like the Pope Gandalf itself. Except that the stick is still very heavy, but drying will take care of that. Anyway, I found out that the plane is the perfect tool for further shaping of the stick. Of course, with a condition that it is sharp enough. And the whole process gives you these shavings that are perfect for lighting fires. Anyway, the stick itself might be a little rough and it may weigh a little bit more than you would like. So, you would need to sand it down a bit and then let it dry out. But before that, I wanted to make sure that anyone who will find the stick would know that it's Mikhail's stick. So I carved up some art into this stick. And then I put the stick into botanical garden inside my house. This way it will dry out quicker than in the damp outside. After a couple of weeks I noticed that my stick only weighs half as much as before the drying process. But unfortunately it has split. If you want to avoid splitting in hazelnut trees, you should dry them with bark and let them dry really slow. And you should further shape them only after they have completely dried. Anyway, some things are just not worth to be fixed, it's much easier to live with them. So I just sanded my stick and then oiled it, to give it a little bit more protection. The process is the same as always, rub it in and then wipe off any excess. And of course, let it dry for a few days. And now, let's head into the woods to test out how good this stick really is. As you can see, you can really use it as a walking stick. And I have to say that having a stick really makes you feel great. It even makes you easier to climb up high obstacles like this tree. And here's the other angle how I did that. Basically, just use the stick as an extension of your arm. Blin, damn these narcomans. Please don't litter in forests. Anyway, the stick can be very useful when you're climbing into hills. It is also very useful when descending steep slopes, or climbing them because you left your camera on the top. But what to do when you're climbing into a hill and suddenly a wild eagle appears? Okay friends, so this is clearly not eagle, but let's pretend that it is. And he is armed with a knife. So what do? You only have your stick. So you grab your stick and you tease Igor, like you're going to hit his balls. But Igor is trying to grab your stick. And he's not protecting his face. So with other part of your stick, you hit his face. And then with that part of your stick, you hit his side. Igor is pretty much upset at this point. So you tell him, hey Igor, chin's up, and you hit his chin in the upward motion. I don't know if this would work in real life scenario, but it looks pretty good in theory. So I just wanted to share it with you friends. Of course, if you really want to defend yourself with a stick, you need a lot of practice. Hey Igor, get up! Get up, Igor! Oh, poor boy, he's dead! So friends, that's my stick. It turned out okay, and I really like this multi-purpose tool. But next time I would dry my hazel before shaping it, because drying after shaping resulted in cracks. It's not that like it's big of a deal or something, but it just feels not really smooth. But anyways, it turned out to be okay stick. I hope you like this video and maybe you learned something, and I really hope that I inspired you to make your own stick, the multi-purpose ancient tool of society. And for now, good luck friends.